Hey, what's up? So it's 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Do you know where your Avengers are?
A valid question. Thanks so much for watching Weekend Showcase. My name is Don Shannon. With me today is...
Timothy Thompson.
We're just about to go ahead and launch into the very first episode of... What is it, Tim?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You know, I don't think you've been looking forward to this very much.
Too subtle.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit understated. Anyway, well, that's okay. We'll work on that for next time. We have not pre-screened this at all. It literally just launched on Disney Plus.
Like 10 minutes ago.
roughly. And we're gonna go ahead and do a basic reaction and go through some of the red letter moments of this, and we hope you like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a comment below. This fanfare never gets old. This Michael Giacchino fanfare that he introduced with Doctor Strange, because he was the composer for that film.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Does that mean that's the same? So I guess he did the theme for Doctor Strange as well, which means he probably worked on WandaVision as well.
No, actually, that was Christoph Beck, the guy who composed for the Ant-Man movies.
Okay, I only asked that because supposedly the end of WandaVision.
Well, hang on. We'll come back to that. We're here to talk about Falcon Winter Soldier. So,
you're right.
From what I hear, the legacy of that shield tends to be complicated.
It's a little complicated.
What is this, like right after? This can't be too much after Endgame. He still has the original like case. It looks like that Steve was carrying the shield around in when he showed up.
Yeah. So my rough estimate is like a couple weeks after, maybe around the same time as WandaVision.
This feels like a cutscene from the beginning of a video game so far.
I'm going to try to drop that shameless plug in. For those who don't know, I am part of a nonprofit organization. We cosplay as Marvel characters, and currently I am the Falcon of our group.
Nice. So who's the Winter Soldier?
We don't have one. We need one. We've discussed it for a while now. I need to get that suit.
Ooh. Oh yeah, this is definitely the beginning of a video game.
Yeah.
Now that's hilarious. A military convoy. Isn't that how the first Iron Man movie started, if memory serves?
All right, Soldier, your mission is a Halo drop into enemy territory. Are you ready?
Batroc.
Oh, there's Batroc.
Yeah, that's George St. Pierre. First time in the MCU since Winter Soldier.
Because I really feel like Falcon Winter Soldier is supposed to be like Winter Soldier Part 2?
Depending on how the rest of the show plays out, that's a very fair assessment. Because this opening sequence clearly isn't explosive enough. Let's just put some actual explosives all over the place and just really give the VFX team a workout, you know?
Explosives consultant, Michael Bay.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like this opening sequence is like borrowing bits and pieces of like the best elements of some really like red letter superhero films. Stay in line. Here comes the rocket.
And the red glare. The bomb's bursting in air.
Wait. Hold up. Did they just kill Batroc?
No, he jumped out.
Yeah. But then like the red dot went away.
I don't think he's dead.
We'll see.
Just blow up a character like that.
I mean, they blew up Crossbones, so.
Crossbones blew himself up.
Well, they meaning the writers. Anyway, never mind. Look at you with the Rosetta Stone. All right.
Man, look at this cultured man.
Exactly. Well-rounded individual. All right. There's some character evolution.
The world.
Fly him to the moon? No.
Did freaking Tom Holland's understudy just ask him that to his face?
Did
really?
You call this man Tom Holland's understudy? I'm done. Done with the singers at 3 a.m.
Hey, Rhodey's back.
The world has been forever changed.
Did he ever really leave?
I mean, but I hadn't read any reports that he was involved in this production, so.
Yeah. Fair. But Air Force, Avenger.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. So, Sam doesn't think he's worthy of it. basically.
He never did. He never thought he was worthy of it. But you can also look in his face. I think he also didn't want to give it up either.
I mean, he got Steve's seal of approval personally, and to an extent also Bucky's too. It's like by
This is
what other
true.
standard can you measure worthiness of something like this or not? Like I don't really follow that as far as like
'Cause he
establishing a
was
starting
chosen
point.
because he was chosen the same way Steve was. He wasn't a good soldier. He's a good man.
It really feels like this particular sequence with Rhodey and Sam is really kind of establishing a lot of the not so much the differences between the MCU at this point in the real world, but like a lot of the subtle cultural connective tissue that
Mhm.
there's a common denominator in terms of the psychology of the world of the MCU and the psychology of the real world, like just how utterly disconnected and anxious everyone is to sort of like figure out the right next path forward in light of everything that we've been through, everyone that's been lost. You know, for the
You mean
MCU,
like
they had the
how?
blip. For we had COVID, and for us, we had COVID.
Oh, okay. I was just getting to the point that like Rhodey had Tony. Tony's gone. Sam had Cap. Cap's gone.
Hmm.
They're both soldiers who fought their respective wars, this and the third, and have essentially. I don't think War Machine has like been passed down a mantle per se, but he'll have like a certain thing to live up to, being that he has an Iron Man suit.
I mean, to be fair, Rhodey kind of took the mantle. It wasn't really given to him. He kind of just took the suit.
He did take the suit. Oh, okay.
I guess. I guess
What?
we're doing this now. This has to be some sort of a flashback.
I'm assuming too, because
This is either. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, like looking at like, he has his long hair still, the old. No, this is not even him. That's not Bucky.
Yep, dream sequence.
Ah, okay.
I had a feeling
So,
it was a dream sequence.
so I'm not wrong. It wasn't Bucky.
And see, this is another thing. This scene plus the other scene with Falcon with Sam sitting at the table with the specialist with the Red Wing technician. It's like we
Mm,
never really get the chance to see. That's another thing we never really get to see in the MCU up to this point, which is non-native English speakers. You know,
mm,
um,
mm-hmm.
actually like sort of reminding the audience, hey, this is just
A
another
living,
version
breathing
of
world.
Earth. This is Earth, another interpretation of it.
Yeah,
And given
good
that
point. Because
there
even like the aliens didn't like never had their own language to speak. I don't really lump them with like aliens. Like we have the Chitauri, the inhabitants of Scar. Then you have
Oh yeah, the
the
Chitauri, they totally had
Skrulls.
their own. The Chitauri totally had their own language. It was mostly screaming, but like you could tell there was a lot of real deep character and
Not
emotion in
wrong.
between the screams.
Yeah, not wrong.
Uncle Sam! What's up?
I love how he was just called Uncle Sam.
Yo, I never caught that. That's hilarious.
Someone whose kids die. Because it's like the worst thing that can happen.
Well, they're still parents. That never
Mm,
changes.
much like war. War never changes.
Yeah, but all kidding aside, I mean, yeah, losing a child, that's impossible to describe and overcome. But
Mm,
it's like maybe that doesn't have a word for a reason. It doesn't need one. It's sort of like, doesn't that sort of imply that your status as a parent changes when, like, just the virtue of having become a parent changes
oh
you
no.
forever?
Is that the guy? He killed him.
Hmm. So, Tim, how much do you know about the comics history of this character? Like, how much of this is actually like invented out of whole cloth versus adapted?
For Sam?
Yes.
So what I remember from him is that he was from New York. He used to be a criminal for a little while. But that ended up being a false persona. Um, he originally was his, where was he? He was on some island, and the natives gave him the name Falcon, I believe, because he used to
Hmm.
have a pet falcon,
Right.
main pet falcon,
The real Web Wing. Right. Right. Right.
and he was experimented on to be given the ability to communicate with birds. In terms of like his family per se. I honestly don't know much about that. Honestly, I just know more about the fact that he was like the first African American superhero. He was never Captain America's sidekick. They just worked together.
You're new Captain America.
Spit take. Excuse me?
Mhm. You're new what now?
Yeah, that's. Oh boy.
I don't like any of that.
You.
It's like not Diet Captain America, but like
Just 1 calorie, not Captain America
oh
enough.
no, that's what it's like. Mom, I want Captain America. We have Captain America at home. Captain America at home. Wait, is this really the end of the episode?
Yeah, this is the end. All right, well, that concludes episode 1 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. That was an interesting 50 minutes. That did not feel like 50 minutes by
It
even the
really
most
didn't.
generous stretch of the imagination. Now, Tim, you're a resident comics expert. What's your first sort of like, what's your first response to this episode now that you've seen it in its entirety?
I'm gonna have to go back and actually read about U.S. Agent. I didn't know a lot about the character, honestly. I knew about him more so like in references made in video games. But the only thing I could think of is it might be he popped up in the comics after Captain America died in Civil War, because at that point, I think Bucky became Cap, Punisher became Cap for a while. And I think that would also be U.S. Agent was like their replacement Cap.
Wait. Frank Castle was Captain America too?
Frank Castle, I think, was Captain America very temporarily, but even then, he didn't want to be Captain America. He didn't think he deserved it. Matter of fact, he was approached first, and he was like, "No, Bucky should be Cap."
Is it weird that I'm already trying to picture John Bernthal in that suit now that we've just seen Wyatt Russell in that suit?
Multiverse of Madness, man, anything can happen.
I mean, goodness, like we don't even have What If out yet, and we're already sort of like playing around with these little hypothetical casting scenarios above and beyond what we're already being given by the official sources.
Mm-mm.
But so, oh man, there's so much to unpack here with this first episode. I mean,
Yeah, the
we
dude from
got
the Flag Smashers who's strong for no reason, and it's like it might because in my theory is that he might be a mutant, and I don't know why I'm leaning towards Sabretooth specifically, but it's like the build, the hair, the strength, but it wouldn't make sense because I think they were in France, right?
yeah, it could just be like a new character. You know, it doesn't
And
have
also
to be like
true.
everything doesn't all roads don't have to go to the mutants at this point. You
No,
know,
he could just be a metahuman, but like, and they have a list to choose from.
pretty much, especially since, the Fox absorption into Disney. But anyway,
If they can pull Bottrop the Leaper, who's like very low on the list of villains, like,
twice.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think even Deadpool's make jokes about Bottrop before in the comics.
Yeah. So, but let's look at what else we got here. We got the Captain America memorial sequence at the Smithsonian. We got Sam at work. Sam dealing with like his people like in work life and in personal life.
We
We
got
saw a little
Rhodey.
bit more of his family. We saw Bucky in therapy. We saw we saw a bunch of
We saw
different.
Rhodey coming in to be basically like a not a guide for Sam, but kind of
Yeah.
another fellow soldier to talk to, like, you know,
Mm-mm. Um.
because the only other person you would have besides that is like Carol, but like she's I think off world again.
Well, and they haven't. We know that we're gonna get. We know that we're gonna get Sharon Carter again at some point.
Mm.
So like that's another. Even though she wasn't really a soldier as much as a spy, really,
Yeah, but she was Peggy's niece or daughter,
or
niece,
grandniece, I think it was.
grandniece, which gets weird when you think about the Cap theory.
Well, anyway, so
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna.
not talk about that.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, there was a lot to see here. There was a lot to unpack here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and bottom line this first episode with a solid 9 out of 10, 9.5. No, I'll say 9.5 out of 10. I'll say 9.5, and I'll bump up that extra 0.5 just because of the way that just because of the way that they handled Bucky's therapy sessions. Like
Yes.
that really stood out to me as like the believe it or not, the best part of this particular episode, because like we
Dude,
knew Sam was gonna
same.
we knew Sam was gonna kick a bunch of butt. We
Right, but the
knew.
fact is that like he ignored calls from saying like Sam's been actively trying to check on Bucky. And
Mhm,
Bucky's wants to say he doesn't want to. I understand exactly how Bucky feels, and like the fact he's in therapy, it's amazing.
mhm.
And it gives me like very strong Winter Soldier vibes, which is the best Captain America movie I think out of the three. Which says a lot because Civil War was really good, but Winter
Mhm.
Soldier is like the Captain America movie.
I feel like there's a debate that's still to be had about whether or not Winter Soldier versus Civil War was the better standalone Cap movie as opposed to like the better standalone MCU movie, because like there's a lot more to pull from as far as the MCU if you want to have that conversation. But at least as far as those three Cap movies, I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure the science is in on that. I'm inclined to agree that Winter Soldier was better, but only marginally. Only marginally. Um, I'm gonna give this first episode, New World Order, like 9.5 out of 10 from me. And Tim, what about you?
I'm gonna bring about the same because like the action sequences were very Winter Soldier for me.
Mm,
The depth of the character development between Sam and Bucky, not focusing on just their lives as heroes, but like the effect that with Falcon being, well, actually they both got blipped. But just remember that now they both were blipped,
right.
and then coming back to everything now, and like Bucky trying to make amends with the things he did when he was Winter Soldier, Falcon trying to get back to his family life that he missed,
Mhm.
and like just it's it's nice to see the emotional focus on like heroes as opposed to just that, oh yeah, they have to save the world, this that and third, da, 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 which is another reason why I really like WandaVision, because they explored her grief and how that took a toll on her, and you
Mhm.
saw that play out throughout the episodes. So
Like in ways that we didn't always realize that was actually what was going on. You know,
mhm,
you got to sort of like hold the football just
yeah,
long enough. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? But
Things like this you wouldn't get in a full movie because it takes too much to focus on just that. With these TV shows, we get the little snapshots of.
mhm, mhm. All right, so that basically puts a cap on to, well, oh geez, I saw what I did there. I didn't mean to say that. That
Nice wordplay though.
that puts I swear I didn't mean to do that. That puts an end to the reaction video, the weekend showcase reaction video for the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, streaming right now exclusively on Disney Plus. Yeah. Do the thing. There it is. All right, so like I was saying, thanks to y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel for lots of other great videos we've got coming down the pipe. We've got Snyder Cut Justice League coming up. We've got Godzilla versus Kong reaction coming up, not to mention the return of our podcast episodes, game streams, interviews. We got a whole bunch of content planned for 2021. You don't want to miss it. So thanks so much for joining us at the beginning of our 2021 content. My name is Don Shannon. With me was
Timothy Thompson.
Cool. And have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Later, guys.